Fighting for custody for your kids is not for the weak. It is going to take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for your kids as a man, it's like playing the game of life on all Madden. You know, it's like playing the game of life on Hall of Fame mode. Like, you got it on extra difficulty. Like, you know, most people live their lives on easy mode. I ain't gonna lie. Most people live their lives on easy mode, and if they want to do something, you know, it can't be too hard, or they just gonna fail, quit, and give up, and just be like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just settle and do this instead. This custody battle stuff, fighting for your kids, yeah, you're gonna be tested on every area of your life. You know, it's gonna test your mental fortitude. It's going to test you financially. It's gonna test your emotions. It's gonna test your patience. It's gonna test you as a human being, as a person, as a man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna test you as a father. It's gonna test how tough you are. You know, it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't quit, because the end result is just, you know, it doesn't affect you, but it affects your offspring, your children, you know, and children may not be legacy per se. Like, your children may not be your legacy. Your legacy may be within your works, and that's cool. But you still got a responsibility to take care of your children. You know what I'm saying? If you were man enough to put them out here, you got to be man enough to take care of them and see it through. And, you know, we made our first mistake by picking the wrong baby mama. All right, mistake number one. But everything else that's done after that, we got to execute perfectly. You know, like, there can't be too many more mistakes. Like, you can't make more mistakes after that. And, you know, like, and I feel like in my scenario, I'm learning as I go, but I'm sharing my experience with y'all. And I've made mistakes along the way, picking the wrong attorneys, you know, doing little things during the divorce that I should have, like, stood on my square. Like, there's a lot of things that I could do differently that I'm expressing with y'all that'll help y'all in the long run. And one thing I will say is that, man, don't make mistakes. You know, like, be very, very assertive, very aggressive, and very educated about your moves. This is definitely a chess game. It's a match, you know, and it's not even a timed match. This is something that you got to sit there and really think 20 steps ahead and really get to understand your opposition. And I'm not saying that your baby mama is your op. I'm saying opposition is you not having parenting powers over your child. You not being able to instill the things that you've learned in life for your child. Like, that's really the op. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could live a great life, and we've seen it. We've seen these legends, these NBA legends, or these wonderful actors and actresses and all these other people. Everybody says the same thing, man. Oh, I wish I had more time with my children, and I wish I could have spent time and did this, that, and the other. CEOs, everybody say the same thing. And it's like, okay, cool. So you can sit there and try to ignore it and fall into your works. But at the end of the day, you got these kids, you got this responsibility, and it's going to be a big blemish on who you are as a person if you didn't give 100% to this effort. So regardless of what you got going on in your life, you got to lock in on this, you know? So that being said, this is not for the weak. You know, like, I see why most dads, they fight for a little bit and they quit and say, fuck it, give her little money, and end up starting a new family elsewhere and saying, fuck that shit. I understand it, but I will never agree with it or do that, because that's just not how I get down. And like I said, man, your kids may not very well be your legacy, but they definitely play a role into who you are and what you leave on this earth. So the least you can do is make sure that you're present and that you're fighting for them and that you spend that time with them while they're young. So they're only young for a little bit, and they turn around, they're grown. They're going to be sitting over here living life just like you. You know, now, do you want them to be strangers? Or do you want to, you know, have a relationship with them and continue to pour into them and ensure that they have the ability to be the best version of themselves? That's what it really boils down to, man. But this is not for the weak. I'm heading down to the bank right now to cut a check. And again, you know, I'm going through this whole cycle of going back and forth, and we have not had a trial. We have not had a trial. So with all of that being said, man, I'm about to drop this ducat and pay my fucking tithes and offering to my legal team. And I might even just leave the balance on the thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause and that's just like this round. You know, like I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I didn't pay last month because I looked at that shit. I was like, man, we ain't even doing nothing last month. What is all these fees and all of that? And then this month came around, and I opened it up and I looked at the breakdown and I saw everything that's going on. So they are doing some work in the background, but do I think that it's worth the amount that they charge me for? No. However, I am paying for their intellectual property. I'm paying for their expertise. I'm paying for their recommendations and knowledge and guidance, you know, to navigate me through this. Because, you know, you can't fight this alone. Going into this naked will get you popped. Like, it's not a thing. Like, you can't go in here and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go mano y mano with my baby mama in this court. Man, you gonna get fried. You gonna get fried up in there. So, you know, get you some good legal representation and all of that stuff I've been preaching. But it's not for the weak, man. So if you're going into this, don't go in half-stepping. Don't go in like with a limit. You know, like for me, there's no limit. Like I told y'all, man, I'm willing to crash out for this. You know, like I'm willing to crash out financially. I'm willing to crash out emotionally. I'm willing to crash out on a lot of levels. Now, I'm not going to like crash out like from like a criminal perspective. Nah, I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is do everything in my power to make sure that my kids are good. You know, so, and that's what this is about. Because right now they're not in a good state. And it really comes down to, you know, their mother's mental state, which is a scary thing to think about. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that thought with y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, do y'all think fathers should be willing to go to the fullest extent for their children, regardless of what the mother's doing? Or is there a limit to where you got to be like, you know what? The limit is the limit. And after that, if she do this, this, and this, and you got to cut her off, or you got to let them babies go and go do your thing and start a new family and do this, that, and the other. You know, like, what do you guys think? Because, I mean, I ended up doing a combination of both. Like, life goes on, and I didn't plan on my life to go on like this, but I do have a new family. You know, I have a new nucleus, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It's fire, you know, and it's what I thought my first one should have been. And there, you know, the clues and the gotchas and the ahas from my last relationship, my last marriage, is not in my current. Like, it's night and day, you know. So what do y'all think, man? Like, y'all think, is it worth the crash out? Or is it something to where you just got to be like, you know what, man, you got to let that go. You got to let them kids, you know, you got to be on some fucking kids, you know, and just move on. Because I can't do that. That's not me. That will never be me. So I think I want to know what y'all got to think about that, man. Because I actually think about this all the time. Like, hey, am I doing the right thing? You know, is it worth it to continue this fight? Or should I just like cut my losses, pay my little support, and just like whatever money I was going to, you know, pour into this legal stuff, just like invest it, let it mature, and then pull it out and divide it up amongst them when they get grown and out of their mother's reach? You know, like, I mean, I've thought about a lot of this. I thought about a lot, you know, so I want to know what y'all got to say. I want to know what y'all think. Man, I appreciate y'all. And if you like this kind of content, man, watch this next video down below, all right? I'm going to talk to y'all later.